Hello, I'm Dominic Piper and we're here at Africa Down Under. I'm joined now by Joe Belladonna, Managing Director of Harina Resources. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me along, Don.
It's a great opportunity again to chat to you. 12 months after you'd only just come into the job, you have a rare earths asset in Madagascar. I mean, the first thing we have to broach, I suppose, is the rare earths market itself. It's gone a little bit sideways of late. What's your readings on it?
I think we're at that stage now where a lot of projects are promised. It's time to see if we can deliver some of those projects. One of the key things there at the moment is the market is still well supplied out of China, but as governments try to decouple themselves away from a single source of origin, we will start to see the price start to respond, because we're in that situation now where there's no supply anxiety, but if we want to diversify our supply lines away, we're going to have to get some incentive pricing on there to bring projects in.
Are you seeing that in your discussions with investors then? Is there an awareness that there is movement perhaps on the sidelines?
I think maybe rather than investors, maybe we should look at the offtake partners. So we've got that non-binding term sheet with United Rare Earths out of the US. So I think that's a really key point to make, is that the United States are now starting to take positions via offtake agreements with junior startups that are a few years away from actually producing metal. Seeing that the people start to get involved, I think, is actually more important. And it's not just the US that we've had conversations with. We've had people out of Europe, we've had people out of Asia, we've even had people out of Australia that have got downstream processing coming on board. Because Harina will be producing a carbonate product, it'll have no uranium, no thorium attached to the product, and then that makes it sort of a product that people want to get into their flow sheets as they move forward. So I think just in general the offtake market is starting to mature and people are starting to take those positions, and we're seeing that more and more, and it's definitely universal across all of the different geographies.
A rare earth project can be quite challenging at times to bring all the different elements together. How much progress have you been able to make in the last 12 months?
Yeah, we've been really busy over the last 12 months. We've converted our 43101 resource into a JORC compliant resource. Key piece of work that helps us along with our listing. The other thing we've got there is the non-binding term sheet with United Rare Earths, another key component to actually being able to develop a project and bring it into production. But I think one of the key things for Harina is that there's been $20 million spent on the project over the journey, over the years that it's been owned by different people, and that gives us a strong resource. It gives us a lot of metallurgy test work that's been completed. So for us, it's about just converting that into feasibility study and then bringing it online. So within 18 months to 2 years, we could be in production and actually delivering product. And a lot of people have got a lot of work ahead of them before they can do.
I'm sure you have, including yourself, because you mentioned potential listing. Can you talk us through how you finance this project?
Yeah, so at the moment we've got a reverse takeover of a company called Sidis Resources happening on the London Stock Exchange. That's a main market listing. We're currently in the book building, money sourcing phase of that. It's going quite well. We're quite close to filling up the entire book that we require to complete that listing. So we're hoping that over the next few months we'll actually become a London Stock Exchange listed company, and that'll fund us through to our completion of our feasibility studies, completion of our environmental work, and we'll really start to move that project forward post that listing.
It sounds like the classic combination of Aussie mining expertise with prospective ground in Africa and London money.
Yeah, well, definitely. One thing we do know is that people say, what are you doing in Madagascar? And we say, we go where the projects are and where the good projects are. So Madagascar's got a really rich mining history there, and we're going to really take advantage of the opportunities there, and also bringing the people along for the ride with us. There's a lot of really highly trained people in country that will help us along there. The other thing is London understands African risk, so that London money coming into the project, we think it'll understand, and it'll be how it gets exposure to these projects in Africa, but then obviously bringing the Australian expertise. We should say that, but really our chief mining engineer, our technical director, is a South African or Namibian. So is he Australian or is he African? Well, I'll let you guys decide, but the reality is that the technical skills that we've got in the group are very, very strong. They've been African focused for many, many years, and they understand these projects really well and how to engage with the local communities, and that's the key.
It is the key. Joe, thanks very much for joining us. Best of luck for the rest of Africa Down Under, and hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks, Tom.